my question of the week, and it's not a flippant question, is should Christians eat pork? And we put up about a sausage sizzle. Well, to us it seems a ridiculous question. But no, it's actually a very serious question. Virtually every society has dietary things. You know, the first time I went to the Netherlands and was given horse to eat, that just didn't seem right. You know, on the other hand, people come to Scotland and give them venison, and they don't think it's right to eat Bambi. You know, and there's a whole. But religions have different dietary things as well. Never offer a Jehovah's Witness or a Muslim a black pudding, for example. In fact, I knew a Christian missionary who came to our house, and when we offered black pudding, he wouldn't take it because he thought that particular dietary restriction still applied on the basis of a chapter we'll come to in Acts. But, you know, it's not our culture. We struggle with that. And part of this is also how you look at the Old Testament. Why did God give them these rules? Well, there are lots of reasons that could be given. One is to distinguish them from the nations. The other could simply just be health reasons as well. But the point that's being made here, and this is when people think they're being clever and they say to you, oh, well, you don't do this because it says this in the Bible, but why are you wearing cloth made of two different types? Or why are you eating lobster or whatever, if you can afford it, or winged insects, or anything like that? Why are you doing that when the Old Testament forbids you from doing so? And they think that negates the whole Bible. But the Bible itself tells us that the restrictions of the Torah were temporary. We don't follow the Jewish dietary laws. Don't expect you to go home and look at your Sunday lunch and just go through the checklist in Leviticus about what you can and cannot eat. And how do we know that? Mark 7, verse 15, Jesus says, nothing outside a person can defile them by going into them. Rather, it is what comes out of a person that defiles them. He's talking about the heart. 1 Timothy 4, the Spirit clearly says that in later times some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons. Such teachings come through hypocritical liars whose consciences have been seared as with a hot iron. They forbid people to marry and order them to abstain from certain foods, which God created to be received with thanksgiving by those who believe and who know the truth. For everything God created is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving, because it is consecrated by the word of God and prayer. Now, what Paul is telling Timothy there is, the gospel has liberated us and set us free, but every time someone deviates from the gospel in the name of freedom, they become restrictive, very restrictive. That's how the cults work. People control you in terms of the regulations that they have. So, yes, Christians can eat pork, and because Christ has declared that everything is clean.